For years, people laughed at Mariam. Some called her foolish. Others said she was wasting food. A few even warned her, "Those dogs will one day turn on you." But Mariam never listened. Every evening, just before sunset, she'd walk through the quiet streets of Kifaru Estate, carrying a small plastic bag filled with leftovers, rice, bones, sometimes bread soaked in soup. At every corner, stray dogs waited for her. They knew her footsteps, they knew her smell, and most importantly, they trusted her. Mariam was a widow in her early 40s, living alone in a small rented house. Life hadn't been kind. After losing her husband, friends slowly disappeared. Neighbors minded their own business. Loneliness became her daily companion. The dogs filled that silence. She named them Shadow, Lucky, Brownie, and Tiny. She spoke to them like they were her family. To Mariam, feeding them wasn't charity, it was survival. For nearly 6 years, she fed those dogs without missing a single day, rain or shine, healthy or sick, even when she barely had enough for herself. She never expected anything in return, until one night, everything changed. It was around 9:30 p.m. Mariam had just closed her small shop and started walking home. The streets were unusually quiet. Most lights were off. The moon hung low, half hidden behind the clouds. As she turned onto a narrow path near her house, she felt that something was wrong. Footsteps behind her. She quickened her pace, so did the footsteps. Suddenly, a man grabbed her from behind. She screamed. He covered her mouth and started dragging her toward some nearby bushes. Mariam struggled, but she was weak. Fear froze her body. Her mind went blank. She thought, "This is how I die." Then, out of nowhere, came the sound. A low growl that erupted into a furious bark. Shadow was the first. He lunged at the attacker, biting his leg. Lucky followed, snapping and barking relentlessly. Brownie circled them, growling like a wild animal. Even Tiny, the smallest of the pack, attacked from behind, sinking his teeth into the man's other leg. The man screamed and tried to fight them off, but there were too many. Their barking echoed through the estate. Lights began to flicker on. Doors opened. Neighbors started shouting. Panicking, the attacker pushed Mariam away and ran, limping into the darkness. The dogs didn't chase him far. Instead, they returned to her. Mariam lay on the ground, shaking, crying, unable to breathe properly. Shadow stood over her, alert and protective. Lucky gently licked her hand. Brownie sat beside her like a loyal guard. Tiny whimpered softly, nudging her arm. They stayed with her until neighbors arrived, until help came, until she was finally safe. That night, Mariam realized something powerful. The dogs she fed when no one else cared, the very dogs people had warned her about, were the reason she was still alive. The next morning, the story spread like wildfire across Kifaru Estate. The same neighbors who had mocked her now praised her kindness. Children brought food for the dogs. Someone even built a small wooden shelter near Mariam's house. But Mariam said something that silenced everyone. She told them, I didn't save them. They saved me first by giving me a reason to keep living. Today, Mariam still feeds the stray dogs. But now she understands a deeper truth. Kindness is never wasted. Love always finds its way back. And sometimes the ones we think we're protecting are the ones who are protecting us all along. If this story touched your heart, remember this: you never know whose life you might be changing with a simple act of kindness. Thank you for watching.